Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel, and on today's video we are talking about my Mk7.5 Golf GTI TCR. I have been meaning to do a video on this car for some time, but I just haven't had the time to do it. The last video I did put out was the one when I sold my my convertible Smart Brabus 451, where I was genuinely sad to see that car go, but I'm over it now, and today we are here to talk about this. So this is a 2020 TCR, and yeah, I am a bit late to the party because these cars came out in 2019 and they were only made to 2020. To be honest with you, I kind of bought this car by accident. You know, when you're not looking for a car, but you are constantly browsing at cars for sale. But this one just happened to catch my eye, and the thing what made it a little bit more memorable was simply the spec. So what is a TCR? Well, TCR is a tribute to VW's touring car racing series, and what a nice tribute car it is. So they're not a limited edition car as such, but they were obviously limited production, and you should not see many of these cars on the road, even though there are 4 or 5 floating around in my area. Now, when these cars were made, you could get them in either a 3-door or a 5-door, but in 2020 the 3-door was no longer available and it was only the 5-door that was. Let's go through a few things exterior wise on this particular car. The color is called pure grey, and as far as I am aware, this was only available on the TCR at the time. It wasn't available for any other VW. Obviously it has the optional honeycomb decals on the side, or stickers, but the decals do cost £550. It's quite expensive, not to everybody's taste, but I fully like them. I think it adds a lot of character. Standard, these TCRs came with 18-inch Belvedere alloys, and if you wanted to upgrade to the 19-inch alloys, you would have had to have spec'd the performance pack at a cost of around £2,000. In that performance pack you had 2 options of 19-inch alloys: the Pretorias, which this one has, and I think they came with Michelin Cup 2 tyres, but I have Michelin PS4s on mine at the moment. And then the other option, which you do see most cars with, was the Rainfnitz alloys, and they came with Pirelli P0 tyres. Both options came with DCC, which is dynamic chassis control, which also made the car sit 5mm lower than the GTI Performance with the same performance pack, and it does sit 20mm lower overall. And it also includes driver profile selection with 3 suspension settings: sport, comfort and normal. It also had individual and eco. You also get the speed limiter, which is raised from 155 miles an hour to 164 miles an hour, which is an increase of 9 miles per hour. Now you could spec this car without the performance pack but still have DCC on the 18-inch alloys at a cost of £875. So if you didn't want to upgrade to the 19-inch wheels but you still wanted DCC, you could spec that on the Belvederes for a cost. You get upgraded brake discs and you get upgraded brake pads. These brakes also come on the Club Sport S, and it comes on the Golf R if you spec it with the performance pack. So this Akrapovic exhaust was optional on the 2019 cars, and it was £3,000, which, to be honest, I think it's probably well worth the £3,000. But on the 2020 cars, it was no longer optional. It came with the car. But don't think that VW just gave you this. No, they added that £3,000 for this exhaust on top of the purchase price of the car. Even though it's a nice exhaust to look at, inside of the car when you're driving, it's still a bit quiet, even though some people do say it does sound quite nice from the exterior. Inside it's still a bit quiet. The good thing about it is it's meant to be 7 kilos lighter than the standard exhaust. In my opinion, I think it is well worth it. If I was buying this car from brand spanking new, it is definitely something that I would choose to option. Another thing, not everybody likes the pan roof, which is £1,000 option. Me personally, it's something I would definitely spec. And then the other thing that has confused me a little bit is that the black roof, which you would think with the pan roof it would come with a black roof, but apparently that's an option also. So tinted glass at the rear. Now it's standard when you want 60% darkened tint, but if you want 90% darkened tint, it's an option at £125. These mirrors have got blind spot assist, which is a very nice option. Can you see that little sign in there? When you see that, you know your car is very well spec'd. It doesn't have the carbon mirrors though, which personally I'm not bothered about, but you can get the carbon option, which would have been at a cost of £495. Then you have got the climate windscreen. Now I'm not sure if that is part of the package. Now apparently this car has also got some sort of camera. It's got some sort of camera in here somewhere. I don't know if that little thing there is it or what. And I think that aids with lane assist and dynamic light assist, but it's called multifunction camera for distance control. I think these do still have the radars, because on the Mark 7 they used to be down there, but I believe now the radars are behind the badge. I'm not sure if all GTIs come with that or if it's an option. And then you've also got full LED dynamic adaptive headlights with high beam assist. Now I'm not sure if that is also part of a package, because a lot of these things just seem to be packages, and I've been trying to work out exactly what is what, but it's very difficult sometimes. And then you don't get the fog lights in here anymore. Those are actual vents, and I think they are for cooling the brakes, maybe more so for doing track days or something like that. And then you've just got your standard equipment like front and rear parking sensors, reverse camera, headlight washers, keyless start, keyless lock, keyless entry. I think those are just standard features on the on the TCR. So now we've done a little bit on the outside. Yeah, let's have a look on the inside. The first thing that hits you are these Vienna leather seats. The colour is called Titan Black, and I do actually like this colour combination, but I do like the original TCR seats with the TCR tartan. And what I personally think that Volkswagen could have done is still put these leather seats in here just as it is, but on this center bit just put the TCR tartan, because on the original seats it just makes it more distinctive as a TCR, and they have a little bit more character. I don't mind. I like the color combination, but I still do like the original seats that come in the TCR, even though these are a £2,000 option. Another thing with these seats is that it comes with this, which is optional as well. Not sure how much it costs as an upgrade. So as you can see, you've got the settings, your driver settings where you can set your seats, and I think as well as setting your seats, I think it sets your mirrors at the same time. So whatever, I've never actually used it, but I think that's what it does. Now let's get inside. Another thing that you do get with these leather seats are these. So on the standard seat, I think you get like the charcoal Alcantara inside here on these bits. It's the same with this gear gaiter. You get like a leather type of thing as opposed to the Alcantara that I've seen most cars with. The other thing that hits you is the upgraded infotainment system with Discovery Pro. Now this is 9.2 inches, which I think is an upgrade from the 8-inch screen that was standard on VWs. Also, this car has got dyno audio, and obviously you get better speakers, but I think you get more speakers as well. So in total, I think this car has about 8 speakers in here somewhere. You could also spec the rear airbags. I'm not sure exactly where they are. And I think with the rear airbags, you also get rear seatbelt tensioners. And you get an alarm for the rear seat belts, so if they're not plugged in, they will chime if somebody's sat in the seat. Oh, that's optional at a cost of £300. Right, so I think I will end the video here. I have covered most of the things that I think are optional and standard, but if you guys can tell me in the comments what is optional and what is standard, that would be nice to know, because I don't know everything about this car, even though I've had it for a little while. If you could comment, share, subscribe, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye for now.